All right. So we thought we would do a little video because we've got a lot of people asking questions about what we're doing, and especially they've been asking me, and I'm not overly knowledgeable about it, but Paul is. But then if you ask him, he's got 14,000 words that he'll try to spit at you that you probably won't understand. So we thought maybe between the two of us, we can try to work through a little interviewee type thing to try to get some of your answers, questions answered, in a short amount of time. With try to keep the word
I'll try my best
the word count down. So my first question to you, Paul, is what made you interested in this online space?
I suppose we've been watching our friends do it for quite a while, and seeing the huge success that they've been having has sort of just made me go, okay, look, we need to look at this a bit further, and it was time to take action.
Yeah. And by success, I think we mean the freedom to be able to do what they want when they want. Do you think? I think that's what the freedom is. He didn't know that I was going to say that part, but it just jumped into my head that having the freedom, we're not talking about becoming a billionaire overnight here. What we're talking about is the freedom to be able to do what you want when you want, on your terms.
Yeah, financial freedom.
Yeah. For lack of I don't know, sometimes I get a bit financial freedom, people throw that around, but like it's time freedom. Time freedom.
It's time, it's everything.
So what was it? I think it was when they decided that the next product was a gold product. Is that what tipped you over to wanting to jump in?
I mean, it was gold. Gold's been around since 600 BC. It's lasted the test of time in all different situations and continued to be a great investment. So with all that's going on in the world at the moment, with the banks and the governments controlling our money and what we do with it, especially in Australia, I've been looking for different ways, different solutions sort of outside the norm, which I'm able to purchase something different, such as physical gold, which is what this is. And it's audited gold as well. So it means that it's not just pie in the sky stuff, it's physical audited gold that you can actually put into. And it's done on blockchain technology, which obviously I've got an IT background, so blockchain is of high interest, and the way that works and the technology based around the decentralized and the centralized space of blockchain is something that was a big interest. It means that we've got more control over our own money rather than what the government can sort of see and do in banks and things like that, which gives us more freedom to be able to do what we want and how we store it and then what we do. And obviously the interests around positive fees and things that you can sort of make off that gold and off that investment that we do.
We can go over the positive vault fees later. With the blockchain technology, because I'm only just learning about this as well. So if you are a novice like me, that's why we're doing this video. Blockchain technology gives you complete transparency of the data as well, doesn't it? Is that one of the pros to being on the blockchain, is that you have clear...
Yeah, so
this is what I was reading. I'm just asking for... You have clear data in front of you of where your money is, what it's doing, all the information, and it's all protected.
That's right. Only you and the person that you're sending to can basically see it. So it's a dumbed down version of it. You've got a key, like a phase key or thing that is yours for your account, and then you scan or whatever of the account that you're going to, and it is a one-way directly to there. It's not going through banks first and then off to them. That's a centralized sort of environment, and decentralized, you can go from here to there to anywhere, move your money around, and no one knows exactly where it's gone or how much it is or what you've done. It's only you, and you know what your assets are.
And that's what we want. It's our money. We should have control over where it goes.
That's right.
So let's get down to the nitty gritties. What is it going to cost me and you?
What's it going to cost? Well, depending on where you go, and there's multiple different variants to this. It is, the entry point to it is 500 AUD. That is, so the way it works is that you buy it in euro. So you've got to have money in crypto to then transfer it across. Keeping it simple though,
which we did yesterday. So that for me, I don't understand. We put money in my CoinSpot yesterday. It was cleared and ready to go to make a transaction today. So that was easy.
Yeah. And then that transfers through. So the minimum that you would want of buying the gold and vaulting the gold, and we'll get to the vaulting of the gold at the moment, is 500 AUD that you would probably need, and that gets you started into.
So that's your entry.
purchasing.
That's your entry level, and then there are different vaults that have different fees and sizes, and that can go up to, what's the biggest one?
So the entry in is 100. Well, they call it 150 euro to purchase gold. Then it goes from 150 euro to 500 euro to 2,500 euro to 7,500 euro to 10,000 euro. And then if you're buying a vault to the value of 150 euro, you have to buy 150 euro of gold to store into that vault.
Yeah.
That makes that active, and then once that's active, then you can earn positive returns on that when it runs through.
So I did say to not add this in, but you can just purchase the gold if you want to and let it sit there and rise in value. But when you purchase the vault, that's what opens you up to access more money coming through. So that's what obviously we've done, because, you know, that's what the whole beauty of this whole thing is to be able to try to make more money more frequently. And if you don't buy the vault as well as the gold, you can't do that. So in a short version of the answer, $500 is the minimum entry that you can go into. And what that gets you is your physical gold, and it also buys you the vault to which it's being stored in. And the money, now I'm doing your job. The money that you spend on that vault is used for various different things, isn't it?
So I'll sort of take a little backward step from what it is. So you don't have to, as Rach said, you don't have to get a vault if you don't want a vault. But the beauty about getting a vault is once you purchase that vault, you then, through the global system of buying gold and the way this is done, for every 10 kilograms of gold that is stored within vaults, 2 kilograms of gold will be distributed proportionally to the different vaults throughout the global vault community.
See, when we were rehearsing this, I'm like, that's too much information for Rachie. So we have been trying to work out the best way to relay the information to you guys without you glazing over like I did. Like I stopped listening. Even then, I stopped listening halfway through. But if you're watching this, you want more information, which is what we want to give to you. So
it makes sense when you go through it. You're vaulting it for 75 cycles. 75 cycles means every time the global vault storage hits a 10 kilogram mark, 2 kilograms will be distributed across for 75 cycles. After that 75 cycles is done, that vault's finished, and then you need to re-vault your gold by buying another vault. But they're saying that with the amount that is going up each time, you'll get your money back on the vault plus 3 to 5 times is what they're saying.
Yeah, well, and that's what you all want to know, right? You want to know how what am I going to put in and how much money am I going to make back? At the moment, we really don't know that. We're hoping that it'll be around 3 to 5 times what you've put in. But because we haven't been through a cycle of it yet, we don't know. But to put it into time factor for you, we've been putting money in this vault, and it is at 8.5. So today, the 17th of May, it's at 8.5 kilos. So once people buy another 1.5 kilos of gold, we will then have a really great idea of how much each return is going to be on that.
And it's probably important to point out that, you know, we're early adopters. This is sort of something that is new coming in, the way that it's sort of done on the blockchain technology, and you can purchase gold and it's liquid, and then that's an asset that you can then pull down whatever you want. But the more and more people that are buying gold, the quicker that's going to grow. So you will start to see returns every day, week, month, that a cycle will start turning around. The bigger it gets,
the more people are buying. So it's, like Paul said, it's only very early in the stages at the moment, and we're already nearly up to 10 kilos. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when this gets released globally and people are continuing to keep wanting to do more and more and more and more? I like to call them dividends. I mean, I guess everybody wants to have a word that they'll call it, but the money will keep spilling out continually and more and more and more as people buy more gold. So what if I decided that I needed my gold, like the money, the gold is always yours. So whatever you spend on the actual gold, that is always going to be yours. What if I decide that I've put my money into this gold, I've bought this gold, and little Johnny needs a college fund. Oh my God, am I in America? The dog needs to go to the vet and I can't afford it. Can I get rid of my gold?
Yes, it's your asset, it's liquefied, so you can turn around and you can sell your gold. That gold then is then sold back into your exchange, if you like, or into the platform that you've got there. Then you can just transfer that back into your exchange, like CoinSpot or something like that, and deposit the money back into your fiat account.
And how much will I get?
Depending
So
on
say
what
it won't be what you've bought the gold at, it will be at whatever the gold rate is
value.
that day. Whatever the gold, generally it goes up, but it does, like anything, it does sometimes fluctuate. So you will definitely get that money back, but it'll be whatever the gold rate is of that day that you will be paid back. We had some questions here just to keep us on. So what if I want out?
the main one through here.
Yeah, I was going to do that at the end.
Okay.
How professional are we? I have written down how often will I make money. Now, I've put some questions in here that I get asked that we really don't have specific answers to, but I know everyone's going to ask it. So I wanted to try to give our best answer that we possibly could. So we've gone through the how often, haven't we?
How often is every cycle that goes through. So when you vault it, there's 75 cycles, and every time there is a cycle, 2 kilograms of that gold will be distributed across everybody who has a vault.
Yeah,
so
that's it. That's where we overcomplicated
that's going to
that.
increase for 75 times.
And a cycle is 10 kilos of gold. Right? So I've been trying to explain it to people. You know when you take the kids to a water park and there's those big bucket things and the water keeps going in there? When the gold gets full, it will let 2 kilos of that out and it will be evenly distributed among the people who have purchased a vault.
Yeah. Now, a question that obviously gets asked a lot is, where does that money come from? Does it come from my gold money or is it from somewhere else? The money from that 2 kilograms of gold comes from the vault money. So you do lose your vault, but that vault money that is sitting in there is used for admin stuff, for redispersing of the funds, and for commission based if you are selling it as a product going on as well, which is something which you can talk about
So we
later.
can give you a full breakdown of that if you like, because I did hear someone say it the other day. So what is this vault money mean? So some of it, like Paul said, will be dispersed when we get our dividends, let's call them. Some of it will go into running the company, and there'll be other things. So if you want to see exactly how that vault money is split up, we can show you that as well. You're probably maybe also thinking, because that, I don't know if you've been following me, been following Paul, or why you've come here, but a question I do get asked is, do I have to share this with my family and friends? And what is the answer?
No, you don't. Not at all. Obviously, it's an investment into gold. So you can put your money in, you can invest into gold, and you can sit on it. You can sit on it as long as you like. You can just invest in the gold. You can vault the gold and make more money from it. Or if you think it is a good idea and that other people should know about it, you can obviously share that knowledge that you have and the opportunity of what it is to get out of the traditional banking system and invest into the gold sort of market, and do it that way. By doing it that way, obviously, if you want to do it more and you want to talk about it, there's a lot more commissions that can be made, and you can earn a lot more money on top of just your gold and the cycle money that comes through for every 2 kilograms of gold. So that sort of gain comes from the vault money that is split down through, which we can go into more detail if you're interested.
And I mean, if we look at this and we start making some really nice passive income coming through, I would feel like it was rude not to share that with people. So I will 100% will be sharing, as we're doing right now, we'll be sharing that with people, because who doesn't want to make money while they're sleeping or they're traveling or whatever it might be. So, but by all means, if that does not resonate with you at all, then you do not have to do it. How will I get this money in my tap and go? Yep. How can I go shopping?
There's different ways of doing it. Obviously, each time you get paid through a cycle, so you have your gold, which sits there. Then you have your vault. Every time you get paid the distribution amount of gold will sit into like a different account, so you can see how much you've actually made in gold on top of what your initial investment was. So that's one way that will then, for that 75 cycles, keep coming through, and they will have money there. If you need access to that money, as I said, you can then sell that gold and you can push it through. They do have a card coming out which is available as a shopping card, like it's basically a debit card directly linked to your gold account that you can then just go and tap. It will be accepted where all credit cards are accepted, so that it's not going through the traditional banking system. All you're doing is using your gold and the assets that you've got there, any equity that you have made directly from passive income coming through. You can go to fill up your car, you can go down to Coles, you can do whatever and just tap your card. And it comes directly off your account there. There are some fees and things obviously around how that works, but if you're interested in it, we can go into more detail.
Yeah, I like the sound of that. Well, filling my car's a bit boring, but it's $180, so if it can cover that, it would be bloody great. I think that's all we'll do now. Like, if you're listening now, I appreciate your time because I know everybody's time's super valuable, but we're really excited about this because it's just a bit of something different, you know. Like, what they say these days that you have to diversify your money. So another thing Paul said before when we were trying to work out what to say is that what was it? You said something about
diversification of
yeah,
your money.
but like
you can't put it all into the one banking system or the one area that you're sort of doing it. You need to have a look at other areas, because with I think what you're sort of getting to was the inflation costs and cash.
Yes.
And with the cash costs and everything, it all goes up, and inflation goes up. Whereas with gold actually goes up in value as well when that happens, rather than devaluing the cash because of the cash rate and everything that's going through.
Yeah.
So it's, at the moment, the way things are looking with the world and the country and the inflation and the debt that's owed and everything that's going on, it's a smart investment to get into gold. That's why all the banks, I think there was $24 billion worth of gold brought from the banks over the last 3 months. So the banks are investing in the gold, and they're going in, they're buying into it. So it sort of shows that you need to diversify, you need to get into products like this, and make the smart decisions.
Yeah, just have some income coming in through different ways. Like, for example, my R&F business was never stronger than through COVID. I mean, and have a look at how many business were decimated through that. My children's entertainment business, gone in an instant, never came back. But my R&F business boomed. So if you don't have income coming in different sectors, or for lack of a better word, then you're putting yourself at risk. So that's what we're trying to do, is trying to have some fingers in different pies.
Yeah. I mean, all I would probably finish off is educate yourself. Go do some research for yourself, understand more about gold, understand more about what the banking system is doing, what the governments are doing. Knowledge is key. So go through. If you need help with that, I've been doing it for a little bit now. I've sort of been doing a lot of investigation and reading and research and understanding it all. And I'm happy to answer any questions or point you in the right direction. And
I'm just here for payday. I'll help you spend it. You can work out how to do it. Thank you for your time. And cheers. Oh, this will be gone in a minute.